Okay, today is going to make pizza base, right? So here, that's all-purpose flour, salt, and olive oil. Okay, so we're going to mix it, make sure that the olive oil is being broken down and absorbed. Over here, there's yeast and warm water, so just let it form up around over 15 minutes. Then after that, we'll add this into the flour mixture, and I'll show you a bit more on how to make pizza base. So I just want to show you, there will be lumps when you have olive oil into the flour, so like this. Alright, see? It's a bit of a yellowish. This is olive oil. So the aim is to get rid of these lumps. So you can have a plate. So if you have a little kid that got nothing to do, then just task him or her to actually mix that and get rid of all this lump and making sure that they are all smooth before you mix the yeast and water into it. Okay, so yeah, have a play. So this is the consistency after you add the water and the yeast structure. That's okay. This is meant to be this wet. So what you need to do is to try to mix them all together and try not to have one little lumps of flour. And that's okay. We're just going to let it rest and let it double the size, so then we can come back to it. That's okay, this is wet, no problem. Later on we will add a bit more of the flour to make it non-sticky, but that's, if this is the consistency that you got, that's perfectly okay. All right, so I'll show you later. We're just going to put it into a warm place to let it rise, potentially double or triple the size. Alright, so just cover it. So what I do is I'll have a piece of cling film to cover it, or a kitchen towel, cover it, and then put inside the conventional oven. Not turning it on, just let it get warm kind of temperature to let it rise. Okay, so we'll come back a bit later. So now this is after maybe 3 to 4 hours. It's all bubble up. So obviously that's the effect of the yeast. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make sure that we put the flour and make it sure that it's a rollable dough. So, and then we're also going to put in here and keep rolling before we put it out. It's okay that the bubble's gone, because as soon as the yeast is still working, it will rise again, so that's okay. So now it's quite wet. We'll just continue putting flour on each side, on both sides. And then we can start rolling a bit. Just knead it briefly. might end up doing a bit more flour, so you just need to make sure that you work onto a dough that doesn't stick onto your finger or your hands. Okay, so it's pretty soft, so just continue to work on it until it doesn't stick onto your hand. Okay, so I'll continue to work on it. I'll be right back and I'll show you how does it look like. Okay, so this is just a simple kneading. You just need to make sure that you outside and fold in, right? Eventually you become a block like this. Okay, it might still be a bit sticky, but that's okay. So that's kind of done. So we're gonna cut it and then we're gonna just roll it out into a pizza base, and then we're just gonna dress the pizza. Okay, so now I cut into half, so that's the other half. This is the one. So I roll it up now. It's still pretty thick, but I'm gonna make a big pizza, right? So you can just move it up and work on my hand to stretch it some more. Okay, and then I'll put into this pan. Just stretch it, and that's the base. So it still might be a bit thick, but that's okay, because once it puffs up, it will go down. Oh my goodness! So that's it. We have a rectangular pizza. Okay, so we'll see some of the ingredients that we're gonna do. So I'll come back a bit later. So pizza base is done. So it's still kind of fluffing up. We're gonna put in pesto and sun-dried tomato as a base. This is yellow capsicum, a bit of an onions. This is roast pork. Sorry, and not halal pork, roast pork. And this is artichoke. So we cut it into smaller pieces. So artichokes, fresh, savory, cut a bit of a greasy taste from the roast pork. All right. So again, we're going to do half and half. So then we will then put in the rest of the stuff, and I'll show you the haven't baked or haven't put in the ovens finished product. All right, I'll see you a bit later.
Which one first?
Okay. So because roast pork is cooked, this is cooked, and these onions need a bit more time to cook, so that it can roast it and softer. And this one's really need to cook. So the theory then is we put the cooked items at the bottom and then top up and put those two on top. All right, let's go and do that now. Go. There. Looks good. Is it even up?
Yep.
Great. Okay, then you can start putting those.
Yep.
on this side too?
Yep.
Can I swap?
Yep.
Okay, so the next we're gonna do, we'll grate some cheese and put on top. Okay, we'll see you a bit later. So now this is with mozzarella cheese, shredded, and we're just waiting for the oven to be heated up to 180 degrees. Then we'll put it in the oven. We'll see you a bit later, and I'll show you the finished product. So here you go. Roast pork pizza with artichoke, yellow capsicum, and onions with homemade pizza dough. Bon appetit!